Put your hands together, welcome Joe Caliz.
Thank you guys, thank you very much. Thank you, yeah, my name's Joe. My real name is Hosian, but I go by Joe because white people in this country just learned how to pronounce Chipotle like a year ago. And so I don't want to fucking mess with that, so you can just call me Joe. I started comedy in this very comedy club 20 years ago, and I just want you to know if you work hard and follow your dreams, you'll end up exactly where you fucking started. So just give up, it's not worth it. It's not, in the end, it really isn't worth it. I'm getting older now, you know, I'm growing up, maturing. There's things now that I don't enjoy that I used to enjoy, you know? Like, I'm not a big fan of the masturbation anymore, you know? Yeah, I know. You guys probably thinking like, what the hell? Yeah, no, I've done it enough for one lifetime, you know? I never need to jerk off again, as far as I'm concerned. I've done it enough for a lifetime. I'm done, you know? And the reason I'm saying this is because a little while ago when I was in the middle of jerking off, in the middle of it, I yawned. Have you ever yawned while you're masturbating before? It's a very confusing experience, you know? I was like, if I'm not into this, who the fuck are we doing this for, you know? Like, it seems like a waste of everybody's time, you know? I felt like a creep, you know? I was like, get your hands off me, dude. I do not consent. I'm not even awake. I felt like Bill Cosby was in there with me. It was terrible, you know? And listen, you don't want to be yawning when you're jerking off. That's dangerous, you know? That's how you end up with a mouthful of jizz on accident. You know what I'm talking about? You fuck around and find something out about yourself you didn't want to know. All because of a poorly timed yawn. So I'm done doing that. I don't need to do it anymore, man. Also, my wife and I just found out we're having our first baby. That's pretty exciting, right? Thanks a lot. I'm a little late to the game on that, but I didn't think I could have kids. I just figured I was shooting blanks or something, but now I'm just making human beings, you know? It's crazy. I'm scared. I'm scared to jerk off. I'm afraid a baby's gonna crawl out of the drain or something, you know, right? Like, it's a lot of responsibility to be carrying around with you. I don't want to do it anymore. Yeah, she's pregnant now. We don't know what the baby is yet. The baby has not decided its gender. I mean, I know with technology we could find out if it has a penis or a vagina, but that doesn't mean anything, you know? It could be anything. It's how it feels, you know? Personally, I'm hoping for a Zimzer. Those are my favorite. Maybe get it into the Olympics or something, you know? It'd be good. Somebody told me I look like if Curious George had sex with Ned Flanders. Oakley dokley, then listen, all I'm saying, I don't get offended by it, I laugh and I move on. So when I make fun of you fuckers, I expect the same attitude in return, okay? I don't want to hear anybody getting upset about any of these jokes, because people are sensitive nowadays, man. I had a lady complain the other night. I was doing a show, I did some fat jokes, you know, and some fat lady complained to the club. And, I was in Oklahoma City, where they make fat people, and so I should have maybe known better. But yeah, she went home. She had to dust off her Cheeto-dusted fingers and type up a bitchy Yelp review and try to narc on me. And she said the comedian was a fat shamer the whole show. He was fat shaming. I never even heard of that before. You have to learn all this new shit, right? I had a fat guy tell me one time he was on a weight loss journey. I was like, you mean a walk? Pretty sure that's just a fancy way of saying a walk, right? Because you're not running, that's fucking for sure. It must be a walk. All right. It's a fucking journey. I don't know if you're all fat or whatever. Don't get all pissed off at the jokes. I'm not trying to piss you off. I got nothing against the fats. You're good people, all right? For the most part, you're pretty decent. It's just that you're easy to make fun of because you're fat. I didn't make the rules. God made the rules, all right? But if you're fat and you're offended, you feel free to walk your fucking fat ass up out of here, and we'll laugh at you as you struggle to make it to the door, because it's funny. There's something funny about it. I want to live in a world where we can't just admit that shit's funny sometimes, you know? People get all mad now. You do any joke, right? Remember one night I was doing a show, I did some jokes about the Jews, right? Which, yeah, you're not supposed to do because they book all the shows everywhere, right? Some dude in the back, real big fat Jew bastard, stands up in the back of the room, right? Huge. Which I don't even know how you can get that fat without eating bacon, but whatever, right? So, off the bat, I know the guy's not a good Jew, right? He must have eaten a BLT at some point in his life, but I don't feel that bad for offending him, you know? But he stands up and he says, "Go fuck yourself." Yeah, real Jewy like that, right? Go. Did you get Jewish ghost or something? Go fuck yourself. Here's the thing, the joke that I did wasn't even that offensive, you know? All I said, I'm reading a good book right now. It's called Hide and Seek for Dummies by Anne Frank. Is it too soon for an Anne Frank joke? What happened there, huh? I didn't know you knew her. Sorry. My bad. My bad. I'm half Mexican, half Puerto Rican. If you're wondering, that's what the smell is. Half Mexican, half Puerto Rican. And I'm surprised that it took me this long to have a child, you know, because, you know, our reputation's not so good on that, you know. And also, I'm poor. I don't have any money. I'm broke, you know. Which, if you're not paying attention, in this society, it's very hard not to have children if you're poor, right? Think about it, you know? Birth control's expensive. Condoms are like, what, $20 a box? Fuck that. I'll use saran wrap and hope for the best, you know? I'm not dropping a 20 every time I want to get laid, you know? It's terrible. And now to add insult to injury, some of these stores, they keep the condoms locked up behind a glass case, like you're buying a video game or something, right? An expensive electronic. You have to ask some teenager for permission so you can fuck later that night, you know? Some kid with a ring of keys gets to decide if you get laid or not. And I think it's a dick move, man. When the store keeps the condoms locked up, basically what they're saying is that they don't want poor people stealing safe sex. Yeah, and let's face it, folks, anybody who would steal a condom is probably somebody who should be using a condom, right? So, can we just let them have it, Walmart? Holy shit, do a public service. Come on, man. But you know what? Walmart can't just let poor people have free condoms, because if they do that, there won't be any poor people to shop at Walmart in the future, you know? Are y'all fucking poor? What happened there? You got real... Why fuck, I shop at Walmart. Listen, you do the public service next time. Next time you're at a store like that, you do the public service. You smash that fucking glass, all right? You take the condoms and you throw them all over the store aisles. Free condoms for everybody, right? Yeah. And maybe then you won't have to wait in line behind 5 Mexican kids at the checkout counter, right? Because they got the help they needed, you know? Well, you guys never been shopping for groceries late at night? Because it's like 9 o'clock right now. I guarantee if we go to King Soopers, that's what we run into right now, right? And it's not racist if I can prove it with a field trip, so get off your fucking high horse. I researched this joke before I did it. I can prove this. It's a very provable joke. I'm excited to be a dad, man. I have fun ideas. I have an idea with my kid. Here's what I'm going to do so that they don't grow up to be racist. I figured out, and this is for all of you. You can do this, by the way. This is how you end racism in a generation. It's very easy, all right? All you have to do is tell your children that Santa Claus is black. That's all you have to do. Just say, listen, Santa Claus is black. The real Santa is black, all right? That's what you say. And you say, the guy at the mall, he's just a helper. He's fake, right? The real Santa, if you ever meet him, he's black. Because then your kid can't grow up racist, right? You can't be racist if you think the most magical dude in the world is black. You can't be racist, right? Unless you don't get a Christmas present and be like, that black motherfucker didn't bring me a... Thank you. Thank you very much. I didn't think this one through all the way. Don't do this, all right? It might make it worse. It might actually make things worse, all right? I'll figure it out, and I'll come back next year and tell you what. Everyone's all woke now. You guys woke? Hell yeah, you should be. Yeah, why not? Be accepting, whatever. I get all that, right? It's funny, though. You see it in the movies. Right now, they're trying to change all the characters. People get all pissed off about it. Sometimes it's nice. sometimes it feels like they just think you're an idiot and you're just gonna buy a ticket because they did that shit, right? Like I remember a couple years back, they remade the original Power Rangers. Remember that? The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? Everybody knows in the 90s it was famous the way they cast the characters, right? The Black Ranger was a black guy. The Yellow Ranger was an Asian girl. Sound familiar, right? Then everybody would joke and say that the Red Ranger was Native American, which he wasn't. He wasn't running a casino or anything, right? He was just a white dude. We wanted it to be true, but it wasn't true. So anyways, when they remade it, because everyone's all woke now, they wanted to avoid that. So what they did is they made the Blue Ranger a black guy, right? They made the Black Ranger an Asian guy, and they made the Yellow Ranger like a Latina girl or something, right? Because what they were trying to do is show that all races can do anything except be the leader. Because that guy's still white. They ain't changed that shit, right? Like, they made that dude whiter than he was in the original. Just to prove a point or something. I thought that was kind of fucked up. It was like 2017 at the time. I was like, we could have a black leader of the Power Rangers, don't you think? All right, holy shit, what happened there, folks? Folks, it's not a real organization, all right? The Power Rangers is fake. It doesn't matter who their leader is, all right? It doesn't matter. You don't have to be racist with the Power Rangers. It's all fake. That got weird, didn't it, huh? All right. We'll keep going, man. I get it. Everyone's a little bit racist. You couldn't even hide it. Couldn't even hide it for the... And it's on tape now. Everyone fucking knows. They're going to put that on YouTube. They're going to see how racist y'all are now. Whatever, man. Everyone's a little bit racist. That's my philosophy. That's what I think. You know, my grandpa, everyone's got a racist grandpa, right? Fuck yeah, of course you do. I don't care what race you are. Everyone's grandpa's a little bit racist, right? My grandpa, both of them were racist because they were in the Korean War. So they were racist against Asian people, right? And they would always say this word. I never knew what it meant until I got older. But they'd always say the word gook. You ever heard that word before? Gook, yeah. It's like the N-word for Asian people, except nobody gets mad when you say it into a microphone because oh, it sounds kind of cute. It doesn't even sound like a bad word, right? Yeah. It sounds like something you'd say after you come in a girl's face and you throw a towel like, hey, wipe yourself off, you got some gook on your face, right? Like, it just sounds cute. And shit, you get bonus points if the girl's actually Asian, you know? Because then there's layers. And if it's a bukkake, that's a threefer, you know what I mean? That's like 3 layers of Asian and cum all in one. Hey, and if she swallows your cum, you can call her a gobbledygook. Gobbledygook, come on. Come on, you're not gonna hear a cuter racist joke than that in your whole fucking life. There's not even any hate behind that. That's just a silly word. It has nothing to do with the Asian people. It's just a funny word. I'm not trying to piss anybody off in here. If you're in here and you're Asian and you were offended by that joke, fuck you for COVID. How's that? I don't care. I don't fucking care. I stopped caring. I stopped caring 4 years ago. I don't give a shit. It's all good. Nobody got nunchucked. It's fine. All right. We can laugh and we can move on. That's what we do. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm a Christian, folks. Any other Christians in the audience tonight, huh? One lady? Wonderful. All right. Wow. So you guys are all what? Just godless heathens? What happened there, huh? Not a single person believes in God. Well, I don't know. I get it. It's not popular to admit that you're a Christian. I get that, you know. It's people now a lot of them are atheists now, you know. You don't believe in God at all. Personally, I think if you don't believe in God, that just means you don't have an imagination, you know. Like, you're telling me you can't imagine the unimaginable? What are you, a retard? Like, try a little bit, you know? Like, sit for 5 minutes and just try. I promise you can fucking think of something, you know? Because these same atheist fucking Einsteins, they'll argue with you all day about the Avengers movies, you know? They'll say, oh, you know, Thanos could have used the Infinity Stones and doubled the resources in the universe. He didn't have to kill everybody. And it's like, word, you could figure that out, but you couldn't apply 1% to this universe at all? You couldn't be bothered to do that? Well, I know that there's a God because I've done enough mushrooms in this life to have spoken with him face to face. So I can settle this debate right now. God is real, and he lives in a lamp at the Hilton in Dallas, Texas, all right? So that's right. I don't know much else, but I know that's absolutely true. I know. for a fact, if you eat 7 grams of mushrooms at the Hilton in Dallas, Texas, that Jesus comes out of a lamp and he listens to Pink Floyd with you. So if any of you don't believe, meet me out back after the show with $100 and I'll hook you up. That's right. I'll make a believer out of you tonight. I guarantee Jesus lives in a lamp out here too somewhere. And, he's a good dude. He's got good taste in music. I like that dude. I used to be an atheist. That's true. I was an atheist until one day I got stuck in traffic for 2 hours after eating at Taco Bell. Yeah. Your faith gets tested very quickly in that situation, ladies and gentlemen. When you're about to shit your pants and there's no hope of exit for 2 hours, yeah, you'll start praying to every god that ever existed, you know? Buddha, Loki, Thor, anybody, so long as you don't shit your pants. Whoever saves me, that's who I'm going with. And, it wasn't until I got to Jesus that I made it after that highway. So now I go to church every week because I'm afraid if I don't, one day I'm going to spontaneously shit myself. And I would deserve it. You don't make a deal with the universe and not keep your end of the bargain. Everybody knows that. So now I go to church. I don't think they like me at church very much because I ask questions all the time. You know? Like they were talking about tithing the other day. You know what tithing is? Tithing is when you give 10% of your income to the church, like they're the IRS or something, right? And I asked my pastor, I said, do I have to tithe to go to heaven? And he said, no, but apparently if you don't, then heaven is like Hulu with commercials for an eternity, right? Like, you don't get the ad-free premium salvation. That's a pretty good explanation. I don't want commercials forever. I guess I'll pay the 10% while I'm here. That's fine. A lot of people don't like the church either because all the extreme Christians, they give everyone else a bad name, right? You know the ones I'm talking about, the ones that hold signs, they say God hates fags and all that. Which, yeah, I'm not saying, I'm explaining to you what they said, you know? You know what I'm talking about. Those Christians give everyone else a bad name. And I don't know if you guys have ever read the Bible, but everything you do is a sin, you know? So, and in God's eyes, most sin is equal anyway. So whether you're 2 dudes butt fucking, or you're a dude and a chick butt fucking, in God's eyes, you're all gay anyway. You know what I mean? Like, so it doesn't really hold that much weight. At the end of the day, you're all a disappointment to the Lord, so who gives a fuck, you know? That's what I say. Just suck your dick and say sorry, and that's all you gotta do. That's how you get into heaven. The Catholics figured that out, you know? Yeah. That's one of the sacraments, you know? Baptism, confirmation, you suck the priest's cock, and then you go to heaven. You guys aren't Catholic? What happened there, huh? I can do that joke. I was raised Catholic, all right? I wasn't a good Catholic. I never swallowed or anything, but I took the other lessons away from it, you know? It's all fucking ridiculous. The abortion thing, that's the other thing. Everyone gets on the Christians about the abortion, especially with the election that we just had. That was a major talking point on the election. Everybody wanted to maintain their right to have an abortion, you know? And I think if we're all honest, we know what the solution is. It's very simple. No one wants to say it, but it's very simple. Is that abortion should be legal. Just don't fucking do it, you know? It should be legal, but just don't do it. Here's an idea, ladies. Maybe just have higher standards for who you let come inside of you. You ever think of that? You ever just think of not being a whore for 30 minutes? Then you wouldn't need the fucking abortion in the first place? But I know that's a lot of pressure to put on you ladies to actually, you know, pick a good man or whatever the fuck you gotta do. We don't want to do that. We want to fuck losers. That's why we're out here, you know? Getting drunk on a Thursday so we can fuck somebody we shouldn't be fucking. I get it. I get it. And you ladies really do need to step up your standards with the dudes, all right? Because I remember when I was single, I'd be on these dating sites, and you'd see these ladies with their low self-esteem, right? They say, I'm looking for a man with a job and a car. It's like, you know, you just described an Uber driver, right? Like, you can aim a little bit higher than that. That's all I'm saying. I guess it's nice because he can fucking drive you to get your abortion afterwards or whatever, but... What? If you can kill the baby, I can do a joke about it, all right? Don't get all fucking sensitive on me now. I saw a bumper sticker one time. It said, "What if Jesus had been aborted?" I was like, that's a terrible argument. He'd have just grown back 3 days later, right? Like, I've read the Bible. That was one of his powers. He could have survived that, you know? It's like rock, paper, scissors. Jesus beats coat hanger day of the week, I'm pretty sure, right? Like, that's not offensive because he wins at the end of the joke, all right? Just pointing out that God would win. It's hardly controversial. All right, well, we'll talk about something else. This went to a dark place. I didn't mean for it to get I don't know, man. I'm getting older. I'm getting bitchier about everything, you know? I just think the older you get, the more you realize everything sucks. Because when you're a kid, like, you remember, like, you go to McDonald's, and that was the shit, right? You go to McDonald's, you get a Happy Meal, you're the happiest person in the world, you know? Now you go to McDonald's, they just piss you off, right? Because you remember back in the day, you'd go through the drive-thru, right? You go up to the first window, you pay, and then they give you your food at the second window, right? But now, in the last couple of years, there's this weird thing going on where you get up to the second window, and they say, would you mind parking your car a block away? And 30 minutes later, a sweaty teenager will bring you half your shit and then run off real quick, and you have to come into the store and get the rest of your food, which defeats the whole purpose of the drive-thru experience, you know? And I don't get it, man, because I've been going to McDonald's for like 4 decades, and it was never an issue before, but you're telling me with all the advances in technology that somehow my extra McNugget shut down your fucking production back there? Like, something's going on back there. I don't know what's happening, but they're up to something, you know? But, I don't know if you know this, folks. The next time they ask you to park your car, you can just say no. Yeah, you have that much power, all right? Because listen, we're not going to stand up to the corrupt politicians, all right? We're not going to stand up to the corrupt police. But I'll be goddamned if the dude at McDonald's is going to tell me what to do, all right? So, yes, you should be, that's correct. And if all of us just do that shit, we can change the world, all right? That's all it takes. Next time they ask you to park your car, just say, I'd prefer to wait here. Say it real cunty like that, you know? Just say, I'd prefer to just wait here if that's all right. See, I tell you what, if you can tow my car faster than you can get me my McNugget, you win. How's that? You win. But I'm willing to bet it's going to take 1 extra minute, so why are you fucking with me, McDonald's? Say, I'd prefer to wait right here. And if you do that, by the way, you will see their teenage heads explode, all right? Because they've never been told no before. They don't know how to, like, the fuck, this guy just said no. There's not a button on the computer for no. I don't know what to do. You say, yeah, it's right under there. It says, the one that says, go fuck yourself. And if it's an issue, you can ask to speak with their McManager or whatever, you know, and they'll bring fucking Kamala up to the window, and you can argue with her. I did that the other day. I pulled a Karen move. I asked to speak with the manager. They tried to get me to park my car, and I said, just bring your manager in. And I was like, why are you trying to make me park? And this is what they told me. They said, sir, if you don't park your car, the guy behind you is going to have to wait for his food. Yeah. You mean like a line? Yeah, that's how a line works. What the hell is going on? When did we become too good to wait in a fucking line, you know? It's like, that's how it works. He got here after me. Fuck him, I don't care. I'll eat my food in the drive-thru. Fuck him, I don't care. Fuck everybody. I'm gonna run for president next time. That's my platform. That's right. Fuck the fast food industry. Fuck everybody. Fuck anyone that makes your life miserable. That's my philosophy. I'm getting too old. Anyone that gets in your way, just fucking shoot them or something. Who gives a fuck, you know? Seriously. Why? What do you got all these guns if we're not using them, you know? Fuck your HOA. You have a HOA, huh? Yeah, telling you what you can do with your own property that you spent your own money on? Yeah, fuck that. I don't know if you know this, folks. There's one HOA president, all right? And then there's all of you. So here's what you do, all right? You get all your neighbors together, all right? You get a little bit of cocaine. You put the cocaine in the HOA president's car. You make an anonymous phone call to the police. And you can leave your trash cans out on Wednesday, huh? It's that easy to deal with shit. That easy to deal with shit. What about kids, huh? You have any annoying kids out there, huh? Fuck yeah. All these kids are annoying. Here's how you deal with that. This year, Christmas time, you go to the mall, you find the Santa Claus, you get a cookie, you sprinkle some Viagra on the cookie, you give that cookie to the Santa Claus, and you ruin Christmas for everybody. Forever. Fucking forever. You just see some little kid crying, "What's wrong, little Jimmy? How come you don't like Christmas?" It's because I asked Santa Claus for a G.I. Joe and he got a boner. You ruined Christmas and Veterans Day all in one fell swoop, you know? I gotta get out of here in a second. I don't know, man. Everything sucks nowadays. People are so disconnected from reality. And it's like half of the world believes in this fucking weird shit. And then you see that and you're like, no one else is complaining about it? Like, that drives me crazy when I see shit like that. Like, I was on Facebook and I saw somebody posted this thing. And they believed it when they posted it. They said, Taylor Swift is more beloved than Michael Jackson. Yeah, and I can prove that that's not correct, you know, because Taylor Swift fucked a football player and half of the country turned against her. Michael Jackson fucked kids and we still love that dude, you know? Like, so I don't know who this Taylor Swift broad thinks she is, but she can't just go fuck a kid and have it not ruin her career. Who does she think she is? The fucking Catholic Church? Come on. I enjoy the marijuana. Anyone else? There we go. That's right. My favorite thing to do in the whole world is to get high, sit in my apartment, and then that's it. That's my favorite thing to do in the whole world. I like to get high and sit and be left the fuck alone, right? Yeah. You ever done this? One time when I was 22, I got high and I played video games until I was 30. It's a pretty good weekend right there, you know? I live in Nevada where they've legalized marijuana, similar out here, you know. Now they're trying to pass laws out there so that you can't get fired from your job just because you tested positive for weed, you know, which I could have really used that back when I had a job. Because I used to go to work high all the time. My boss would get mad at me. He's like, "Hey, you can't come to work high." I'd be like, "Well, I'm here, so I think I just proved you wrong." Yeah. You can totally go to work high. It ain't that difficult. What was the harm? I was making sandwiches for a living, you know? Was he afraid I was gonna make a sandwich too delicious or something? Like, who would you rather get a sandwich from? Somebody who's miserable because he gets minimum wage and he hates his life? Or somebody who thinks he's making magic? It's a fucking sandwich. I should get promoted for that, not fired. No, I get high and I have weird thoughts. That ever happen to you? Be sitting there alone, I have weird thoughts. Like the other day I was sitting in my apartment, I'm high. Outside my window, I hear a whistle. And then I have a weird thought, and this is the thought. I don't know what a rape whistle sounds like. Yeah. Do any of you? Do you know what a rape whistle sounds like? There should only be women saying yes right now. If there's a dude saying yes, that means he raped somebody, all right? Don't let that dude buy you a drink later. But I'm just saying, that's a terrible design flaw. A terrible marketing flaw, because how do you know if you hear one, you know? I thought it was like a dog whistle, like it had its own thing, like help, or I don't know, you know? Turns out it's just a regular whistle, which is a very stupid decision because what's gonna happen? I'm gonna hear somebody getting raped at 2 a.m. thinking that they're playing basketball outside or something, you know? What if you get raped at a basketball game? What then, huh? People just think you're calling a foul or something, you know? I mean, I guess you kind of are, right? What's going on? You don't like basketball jokes? What happened there? Listen, you guys have been awesome. Thank you very much. I'm done. Thank you.